back with another one. This is Thursday Thrills, the 88th edition, the final finale. Yes, yes, yes. I meant to do this at 2 o'clock. I had to schedule it to 8:15, and it's crazy. I know. It's insane, and I know this is the last of the series. 88 editions you can watch. After this series is a wrapped up of 2023, this is like the end of the year, and I felt like let's talk about it's how to do style. Yeah. Okay. Let me see it, and it's a wrap up. Let's go on, Mike. Salute. Yeah, it's a finale, and it's a few. It's like a live stream I want to play. How it all started and how it had its moments, and then how it all really started. I mean, the first episode, like the first series of it, it was just some panels and conversation, right? Then the most infamous one that's popular is Thursday Thrills, and a certain individual. It's a 10-hour stream. I'll let y'all hear the nonsense, but it's right on my corner. But you know what I'm saying? Like I really enjoyed this series. I'm not gonna lie. It really put me on edge to see what's going on. But you know, Thursday Thrills, it was a concept that I did for Sprite Special Madness. I could have ended the series a long time ago, probably in 2022, because it was a pandemic streams that I've done. This is probably the longest I've ever done. I mean, like I said, we're not out of it, but technically we are because we're traveling, and now they start talking about the pandemic and the C virus and things like that, or what they would say COVID or whatever. I don't care about that because at the time you couldn't even say that in 2020 and or 2021. We was in quarantine because everybody was so loose footed and just act like they want to talk about things like that. I didn't want to talk about relationship topics with this series. I mean, we talked a little bit, but we didn't care. We just trying to correct the males over here. My whole purpose was to have different hobbies. I was talking about different things and talk about current events, talk about a little bit of sports and stuff. Girls is just an afterthought. They're like the last on the list. I mean, we talked about it casually and a little bit socially in the drama. I had to talk about strawberry shortcake and Kudempi. I've been knowing them since they were in the chat room. Eventually, they became panelists. So I mean, Auntie was a panelist, and I call him Kudempi just to fuck with him. He wants to be like Kuda and oh boy, Rudemp. I just said it. I don't care. But that was the thing. He came from the Roger Report. He came from the Roger Report 3 years ago, right? And then over time, he became a panelist. So, yeah, I had to work on my audio and things like that before I got on. And they said it was unexpected. Wi-Fi went out. So I said, no, 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 no. We ain't gonna have that. We're gonna make this shit right. Since it's a finale, I just washed my clothes from earlier, things like that, and get ready for tomorrow, whatever, just this so-called holiday weekend. But my mom's inviting me over to her place, and she likes it, whatever. I'm over here just chilling and spend time with some family, things like that. But you'll see Christmas Day, or should I say Christmas Eve? I meant to say Christmas Eve on the recording, so don't mind that. I posted it on that day, on that Sunday. You'll get a Sunday dailies, and you also get a independent thinking series will last till the spring in that series as well. It's enough on that. I done said enough on that as well. I'm gonna start a new streaming thing. I don't know when, but I have to test it out first. Just concept. See if y'all like it or whatever. Or Wednesday concept. I'm gonna probably do vlog streams. I'm not gonna do a lot of streams just for a while, but I will keep in touch what the summer is like, and I'll do a couple of those like every Wednesday or whatever. And just get a feel, you know what I mean? It might be Wednesday afternoon or whatever, just talking and things like that nature, because I want to stick to those topics. Then after that, bam, we're here. So, like I said, and like I said before, and like I said again, live streams can be tiring. I know people like panels and stuff. It's cool. I used to do them a lot for like 3 years ago. And then 2 years ago, doing this and then live streaming going panel to panel and then try to get my channel up. That was daunting, but those days were fun. But when I look at Thursday Thrills, when I created it 2 years ago, it's a good concept. So, I just want to show y'all something to get started. And, I'm just going to look at my channel for a minute and just post something real quick. Okay, you see all the channels and Thursday drills are popular. The most popular one you already know is Sunday Madness. So, it's like here. But we're going to go to the one that's more popular. We're going to see this. It's going to share the screen real quick. Yeah. I'm going to pause it real quick. Notice who's in the chat. Degenerate. And yeah. And this is from StreamYards, by the way. I want y'all to see the everlexes of these strings, but just a little my 2 cents in. But before I talk, and then I'm gonna big up the screen for y'all and let y'all see this hilarious take, how it started. I'm gonna skim through some things. Let me be quiet for a minute. I'm gonna turn my volume down. All right. And soon as I noticed the 3 in a row, he did it again. And they tried to get under his skin. They didn't do nothing. Y'all fell for it and took him seriously. But his name, like I said, it offends a lot of people. That's the SKC situation for 3 days. I explained. It's called the typical SKC style. That's what he does. He does it all the time. If you see him on other panels with full of men and even his pro black tops, he does this over at Art of New Style. He does this over at several other streams, especially in teapots, because they're close. And that's the whole purpose of it. That's the SKC situation. That's step number 1. When I saw from Sheila stream. Step number 2, the cerulean outcome. Okay, I'm going to explain this one. The cerulean outcome. The first outcome I saw cerulean, I hadn't seen cerulean since he was on Charles's panel, right? Of earlier this year. The first time, see, I didn't know cerulean was tight with Sheila. Okay, the cerulean outcome. When cerulean came onto the panel, when SKC kind of dipped, right? He mentioned it something about his wife or anything, being Filipino. He was throwing jokes and shots at him. Get under his skin, right? And I guess Cerulean was trolling SKC. You got to out troll him, right? But come to find out, Cerulean got him off the panel. And I said, ooh, this guy ruffled feathers there. I mean, DeAndre's boy is kind of crazy. Because I know him and DeAndre is cold like that, right? So come to find out, Cerulean, the Cerulean effect was kind of like what you see right now. It's just like I've seen so many things going on in these spaces, man. Like I'm just saying right now, just in here, I'm just gonna post my thing, and I'm just gonna get right back to it. The cerulean outcome. Okay, what I saw from that stream from her, she did kind of good when Cerulean came on the panel the first time. SKC kind of decimated the conversation, what they was talking about. Cerulean knew that SKC was there. See, of course, you had SKC, you had the general, I think you had Big J, and the first string, second string, same thing, outcome, and then Music him going at it, and Cerulean did the same thing, kind of saved the day at the tail end of the strings. They had a longer string after that. It was 15 hours. I was there. And Big J and Beach went at it, which was crazy as hell. Beach, typical self. And Big J wasn't having it. So they don't even like each other. So you already know that what's going to happen there. The Alphabet women done it again. But 3 in a row, SKC came again. He did the same thing again. I think he was in the chat, but I didn't think he was going to get on the panel this time. I think it was it yesterday? I believe, yeah, it was yesterday. And I think he got on the panel. He was with Bomb and this woman named, she called herself the Panda, but I call her the Dolores Tucker. She hated rap so much. Oh my God. That right there. Now she got it in with the Slug, which is funny. Dolores Tucker and the Queen of Slug going at it. SKC was dead quiet and was entertained. He got the best of them. They didn't do shit. He maintained his poise and he just was efficient. A lot of people didn't like that. He just did his way, and a lot of people in the chat didn't like. And I've noticed the men wasn't phased by that, and they wasn't phased by the first time he came through. So the cerulean effect kind of calmed things down. Three in a row, and then ran SKC off, and he thought he was going to stay, but no. And then DeAndre came. Was it the third string? Yeah, he came to the third string. DeAndre came to the third string and talked to Sheila. He saw cerulean up there. You see your boy? And that was it. And then I think they did a string today, and he talked about I think he did a lot of things. He said something with DeAndre, and they was talking about SKC, and it was going in, and he was like saying, what was he saying? He was saying that that's what he does in the trolling department, and Sheila didn't want to hear it, right? So basically, I'm looking at the outcome, what he did. So really kind of just gave everybody smoke. Okay, let's go back to the first string. The first string, he destroyed David Johnson in the trolling beautifully. I ain't never seen David got the person that got on his skin was David. He got under David's skin, and I think they're the same sign. When he destroyed David Johnson, I died. It was funny as hell. He got on everybody's skin. Now him and James went at it on the first string. Now James and him, they're cool now because of the things they have history since the Angry Man days, the Black Order days, and the BGS days, and the Charles days and whatever. Cerulean and him had some history. They cool now. They had like a little verbal sparring in the first time. The second time around, Cerulean was in the chat, was kind of like talking and greeting each other. He was talking about the military, the Marine guy, the general, and music went at it. That was I think that was the second string. The third string, Cerulean was at it again. He was making his points on the tail end and tried to challenge SKC. They had a long, good conversation. They ended that after that, and she made an extra stream out of that. So I'm talking about the situation. She had the topic goes back to the first stream. Is there smoke? Y'all have smoke for the women, but she said none for the police. Well, to answer that, you can't talk about politics like that. I mean, you can, but I mean, it's been discussed. We've been saying it over Charles. We're saying it other places. You have been looking around. I know Sheila's like a professional. She does this, but she don't go on enough channels enough to see individuals that think like that. She has to name some names. I mean, shouts out to her. I mean, she did. This is before I got in it. Before I got in it with her 2 years ago. I mean, we was decent. And I mean, we kind of neutral with her right now. I know she blocked me on several platforms, but that's a long time ago. That's like 2 years ago. We had like a small fallout. But like I said at that time, what I was saying right here in so many words. Let me put my ass back on screen. I was saying in so many words that at that time, she didn't understand how guys like him, and I've seen trolls like this try to play selective memory, and they try to say he's satirical. Ain't nothing satirical about that clown ass nigga, bro. He did exactly what he did, and I said the cerulean effect. And like I said, I wrote notes down and I studied those strings at the time. I was trying to get him back into content, right? But the live streaming thing was huge, and this is when these guys start coming around my channel somewhere around the summer. Cerulean never came before. He was on with Sheila's, right? Like I said, I mentioned certain individuals. I just mentioned their name, Dre and them, and that at that time I was over with old boy, the prophet, right? And this is where I would start moving around on different panels and different outcomes, and I went everywhere. This is when I was on panel to panel and doing content. I did all that in that 1 year, that whole year. The end of the year was wash. Everything went crazy. Different platforms and different things. But right now it's similar to 2 years ago, but 2 years later, I found a niche for myself to find another platform, keep it to myself, and I've gotten better with it now with the live stream and understanding that it takes more than be on different platforms on panels, but doing it for yourself and then building your channel the long way, which I'm doing. I'm not trying to build this channel. I'm just trying to build it for the decent size, and that's it. And so people can just watch my stuff, and that's it. I'll be here for a minute, but I ain't gonna be here much longer on YouTube because I'm gonna let the content stay up as long as I can. Because I don't know where YouTube is going, but if it goes commercial, that's it for me. I'm not doing content no more, probably in the future. Because when I get older, I'm through with this shit. I'll probably post recordings, and you'll hear me on the mic. I might not be on YouTube as much, but you'll probably see me not cammed up as much when I'm older. Because you done seen what y'all done seen. But I am not doing no damn live streams when I'm older. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm off this shit. The other platforms, yeah, I do that all the time. But you get to hear this young voice right now at 35 and up. I'll stay in that lane. But once I get older, I'm through with this shit. YouTube ain't me. Because this thing can go away anytime, any place. But like I said, at that time, I was focused on getting the content. Yes, I was on other platforms. I was in the chat room. I was acting crazy. But this is when Cat was around, a lot of people was around. So it's an interesting thing. But I'm just going to let y'all hear it. I'm talking in the background, right? I'm gonna let y'all, get a feel. I'm gonna let y'all listen to this, and I'm going to turn my game down. So I'm gonna let y'all hear it. All right. Good 3 streams to learn something about this SKC guy. Now she tries to say, "Oh, this B." No. You just got trolled. I'm going to explain that in the third thing in a minute. See, the first thing we explained in SKC situation was typical SKC style. I'm talking about Cerulean in general, 3 in a row in those streams. Those women was dead silent. They didn't want that word, man. And I call that the Cerulean effect. They needed Cerulean to protect them. They was bigging them up and everything. I think Gold P did not like Cerulean at all. Cerulean was kind of a gatekeeper for that. And I know people disagree with him and things like that. And that was good. It was good pushback. A lot of people just don't like Cerulean and DeAndre. And I get it. Because they came from the Black Order. And I understand that a lot of people don't like them, right? That's why I'm looking at the second phases. Now, the third phase is exposed to trolling. Art of trolling. Art of trolling is kind of like what you see SKC does. And there's a lot of trolls like that. A lot of trolls like to, I hate using this word, doxing. That's a form of hacking. They like to find out about you. Sometimes they like to expose you some shit. Another thing trolls do, they troll you and then name you in the chat, name drop you, name flip like I do. I mean, I semi-troll now. I don't do all that stuff now. Sometimes they just go in there and do their thing. And sometimes you got to get used to it, and you got to be built for that. That's just one of the things that you got to look at in the trolling department. So yeah, this is one of those things that I've noticed in these spaces. They ain't used to guys like SKC and things like that. Greetings, Kylie Jane, and what's going on, James? Salute to y'all that came through. But yeah, I'm just talking about the exposed trolling. Anytime you talk about pro-black stuff in these sectors, and the manosphere is not pro-black, yo. It's just not. I mean, it used to be in the 1.0 days, but the other two spheres, not so much. You have a lot of hijackers that are not pro-black, and I'm afraid to say that or whatever. What's going on, Pastor? Salute to you, man. And you don't have a lot of people talking about this stuff. And I think Sheila was trying to say, are you about that work? Are you about that political work? You know how many times I heard that? I heard that shit 9 years ago, man. I've been talking about that stuff years ago. And Solon Black said it best. They gave him pushback on the politics thing. You got to go out there and do it. And we've been saying that for years, you know? What's going on, Tyrone? Yeah, he did. Yeah, I'm talking about that right now. I don't care what he does, but but as I was saying, the trolling part that I saw from Sheila, she's just not built for that. What's going on, G's? They're just not built for that. You know what I'm saying? Like what I saw from the trolling aspect, everybody was trolling Sheila's chat for 3 days straight. That's what I observed. What I observed was, like I said in the beginning of the stream, there's no building if there's no division. Shouts out to DS1 for that, because we're fucked up as individuals. I would say the men, because the men that he was saying eternally, we have internal strifes. And yes, men envy each other in these spaces, especially in real life, and it's common. So that goes for anybody, you know, like I've noticed. I mean, yeah, everybody's not perfect, but I'm just saying the envious stuff is just crazy. But the reason I did this presentation, you know, but I'll make a side note on the bullshit arguments about boomers versus Gen X. A lot of nut riding. So I'm going to answer. My answer is I'm worried about Gen Alpha and Gen Beta at this point, the younger generation. I'm sick of this nut riding about which generation's better than this, which generation's better than that. Fuck that shit. Fuck all that shit. The silent generation is overrated. Okay, it's not the greatest generation in the world. That's an opinion. Okay, I can say the same thing about all of it's overrated, man. No one cares. Most people will forget about generations in 40, 60 years from now. They'll shit on them to the next person shit on them. I'm so sick of these conversations, these yes man motherfuckers. They always go over to BGSs trying to, you can't do that shit. Fix your own shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm so sick of these arguments. They're pathetic, man. Nobody wants to talk about that shit. I mean, every generation is not perfect. Yeah, you know West. Yeah, who cares about the crack shit? That was done by design to destroy every generation. Yes, everybody lived through that. Who cares? They all fucked up. We fucked up. In continuation of that, it's done by design through the tech. I don't give a fuck about those conversations. I mean, I saw a stream from BGS. He had a shatter point. It was a nice shatter point. But these bullshit ass people get on this panel, even as regulars, they entertain that shit. Y'all didn't do nothing to kick them off. Well, I was saying right there at that point, I was speaking my mind about what I was saying. They had these arguments, and they're pathetic. And this is a time where they were stuck in a hole. They had no plan in the future. And remind you, this is October 7th, 2021. And this was on a Thursday, by the way, mind you, on the 7th of October, 2021, on the 7th. And I did this around 8:10. What you see, the Thursday drills now, the later Thursday drills was 8:15 because I have a different software right now. If I had StreamYards, yeah, I'll be on StreamYards talking to y'all, and then I'll have the views that I have. But, you know, people didn't like this software that I have. I chose a different software for a reason, because I like to pre-record. StreamYards did not have it at the time, and it was a little expensive, but I could have had it and just say, hey, that'd be me. But StreamYards ain't what it is, but that's just the thing. I don't use it as much. But that's what happens when you use StreamYards so much. But what I'm saying right here is I'm just speaking my mind, man, about them niggas, man. Before we had this bigger fallout with them in 2022, and then you know how that goes. And you know, you see people who's in this chat. That was in the past, it was 2 years ago, and you saw what you saw. You know, it's a whole different story. But let's get to the nitty gritty. I'm gonna get into this right quick. And that's the nitty gritty. And we was silent on the matter. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And yes, it's crazy. And it's just going here. So let's see right here. What he said, like you're saying right now, and then exposed to trolling they wasn't used to. That's the last part, the art of trolling, the art of it. And what he did was, yes, he called, we can say black people animals, but what they didn't understand, it wasn't just us. The men didn't react to it, but the women did. Yeah. Because the twerking part, that's what pissed them off. And then I understand why Sheila was mad. She didn't want to come out and say it. It was the women. She said, it's all of us. I know her. I know she's pro-black to the T, but she has to understand in this space, they don't stick together. They don't stick together. It's like I said, beginning the stream, there's no building if there's division. And I get what Mike V said. Yeah, it's a buzzword, the build, you know, and I agree with him on that. And it's hard to preach that if we're not, and it's the man, like I said this earlier, it's our fault. You know, just like this one's fault. It's no structure. Now they trying to kill us or lock us up, whatever, you know. And hey,
well, the problem is that's not what they're trying to do now, right?
yeah,
People don't see it like, you know what I'm saying? What they're trying to do is they're trying to assimilate everybody, right? See, they need black folk, right? They need black folk. We know why they need black folk. There's genetics in it. We get it, right? The problem is that black folks do not see themselves as Americans, or at the very basis, men and women. And the reason why I say this is like I did the social experiment on the panel, right? And the social experiment on the panel is I said the reason why, and I told this to Sleepy Panda, the reason you couldn't catch on to what XKC was doing, he had to actually basically directly let you know he was talking about black folk, because he was talking about them, but you didn't correlate it with it until the conversation changed, and then he said it again, and you had to connect the dots, right? I'm saying he's on a panel. If why is it offensive now that he's talking about black folks, where it's in the context of that, when he was talking about it the whole way?
Yeah, talking about being animals in the street, and like he had a stream about a woman get beat up by the cops, and then like we have a problem with resisting arrest and the police. Me and my dad talk this all the time. He don't want to talk about race a lot, because in that instance in the South, we already know what it is. But in that instant, and he said sometimes, and he slipped up sometimes and say it's usually our fault when niggas run their mouths. Yeah, it happens. It happens all the time. And 9% of the time, yeah, they beat up the men as a target. But when you see a woman get beat up like that, and a lot of people never seen this, and the women get upset, that don't happen. It happens to everybody. It's a collective. But the thing is, the women's getting beat more now than the men, because number one, it's an example to say, hey, I'm here. You know, we're getting our ass beat. And then he had to use that example. And I know he tried to use the hypothesis with the animal thing. That's what threw him off. And they got upset. You calling us animal? Blah, blah, blah. But I got what they was doing, but they didn't catch on. Like, it was black people, but it was a specific gender. And he had to attack it. They got upset based off that. They didn't want to come out and say that on us in the chat. I know what they was trying to do, but the way he was trolling them, they got the best. Cerulean had to put his foot down at the end, like I'll say the midway to the end, and you know, of course, the general came before him and cleared the way. So yeah, Cerulean's presence kind of saved him. That's why I call it the outcome and the effect of it.
Yeah, and well, that's what I mean. But see, but look at that, right? Right? It's now let's look on another spectrum. That was Sister Sheila E's panel, right? That was her panel, right? There was a point of contention where the women were having an issue. Cerulean came in, had his conversation. It nullified the situation. So you can't say without a definite that women won't let you lead. You just saw it right there.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's no definites in that, right? Right? And then women can't say on the black end that black men don't protect black women from shit, because you just saw it.
Yeah.
You just saw it.
Yeah.
So there's you get what I'm saying? Like, that's why I wanted to point these things out.
Right.
And that's why I wanted to point these things out in this type of context, right? And if you're going to have that type of conversation, right? That's why I make a consistent effort to always try to get black people to think first that you are a human, then you're a man or a woman. You know, I'm pretty sure ain't nobody in the LGBTQ around here, so we do believe in genders. That's just a thing, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't, you know, we're talking about this, right? And the problem is that when we're having these conversations, like I just talked about how society and science and how people get along because they're organisms and things of that nature, right? No one took offense to it because I'm just talking about society, right? I'm just talking about civilization as we know it, right? So now the civilization as we know it, right? We can't say we made everything as black folk, right? But only address the good shit that we made, and the white man did blah blah blah. Yes,
but
they
not the
did
bad stuff.
not
But
the bad stuff.
that's what SKC was trying to point out, and they didn't want to hear it. But I understand they
Yeah.
took offense to what he's saying, the animal trick, and I got what he was saying. I was like,
He called everybody animals at the time 2 years ago. It was a troll tactic. Was it racial to the pro blacks? Absolutely. In a sense, it's self-inflict. I wouldn't call it racial. I'll say this right here. This was a self-inflict wound that we was dealing with during the pandemic, during the second wave pandemic, right? Well, most people call it. Well, I ain't gonna say the plan part, but I ain't gonna get into that. I ain't that wacko to go on Rumble to say that. No. It is what it was. Now, if it was Earth, that's fine. But try to find some lies. And no, that was a pandemic. People died left and right. They was dying out here. So I'm not gonna get into those statistics. That's a whole nother story on that. But we gotta understand that's the future. See, in 2021, you gotta understand a lot of people got caught up in the race the whole time. Remember, 11 years ago, the stuff I was saying was not popular. Now everybody wants to say it. 11 years later, my shit's been accurate. Now the stuff, and then we're not gonna talk about the war, because that's part of prophecy. We already know that's how that's gonna lead up to. I've been stuff way before 11 years ago. Okay, before I lost my first channel, but that's a whole nother story. It was psyop and all that. We ain't gonna get into that. That's a whole nother story. I was a radical then. I lost my channel prior to that during the identity theft. I had some identity theft problems too around that time too. And I lost my channel as well. 2012 was a rough year for me. That first year when I lost my channel, and then I got a new channel, and I had it for like 11 years now. It's a long time. Long time to understand that when you do this type of work by yourself and not be paid for it, but it's hobby type stuff, this is the type of stuff that you got to look at as a whole. So the stuff that you're seeing right now, it's pretty coming to pass. And now I look at this stream from 2 years ago. People are still stuck on the racial stuff, the negative stuff that he was saying and I was saying is, I understand what SKC. We all understand on this panel that he was fucking around and troll, selective trolling and all this stuff. And what I was saying, he used the word animal. Called people animals and had his status and things like that nature. And we're gonna get into that point. So let's get to the nitty gritty. So we get to this part right here, and then we're gonna play it. All right.
Guess what's going to happen, right? It's either one or two things are going to happen. Either I want to be beat up on and not heard, or I want to troll.
mm-hmm.
I'm intentionally going over there for certain, or I want the contention, but there's no solution to it, right?
Yeah.
You know, like think about it like this: they would rather support, defend a dude that's messing with underage women,
Uh-huh.
a guy that's married to a grown woman, has some kids that right? But we all have a certain trigger, right? Like
Right.
Certain people's panel where they can't have a constructive
Productive conversation.
Productive conversation about certain issues. If women are a trigger for them, black women are a trigger for them.
Yeah, you mentioned that today with Josh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can't have that conversation, right? I get to the point where you're going to be where you're at. There comes a certain point where I got this thing. Once you're over about 33, 34, you're pretty much on the trajectory of being the best version of whatever function and dysfunction you're at. And we all have them. It's not like I got mine. Everybody's got theirs or whatever, but it's how we conduct ourselves with this, right?
Right.
and here's the other notion of this thing, right? Because y'all need to put your chin straps on because Cerulean's here. So
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna pass it to Gino
so
first, and then I'll let him speak. Hold on. I know
so
you're surprised.
after I say this, hey, SKC, I'm gonna give you the floor, and you and Cerulean.
No. I got this. Gino, you want to say something after DeAndre's done?
Yeah, I'm
Because
done, man. Go ahead, you got it. Yeah.
go ahead, Gino.
Shit, no. What's up? What's up? What was it, Sir Obadiah?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Shit, man. I've been peeping your channel for a minute for quite some time, man. I've been kind of keeping on the breast of what was going on here in the space. Nah, man. I wanted to see what that article was, man, because I'm a member of certain Telegram groups and shit, man.
Oh, that's DeAndre. You gotta get that from him.
Yeah. That was given to certain people so they know what to do with it because they're not compromised in any positions. And they actually it's G14 super classified as above your pay grade. see, I'm not to say Gino, not to say anything, like a certain thing, but just to be in a nice way and very respectful. And I hope you take this a nice way. Is that if you notice, me and Cerulean hang with each other, right?
Yeah,
if you notice that we rarely have any leaks about anything that come out of our back chats, anything like that.
Same here with me.
Because we know where information needs to go and who needs to have that information and what they're going to do with the information and how they're going to keep it to themselves so they can do something with it. Certain things are not to be shared or put out there for the public to know, right? Because people can take it, run with it, do some other crazy shit.
They start panicking and be like,
or the sources will be outed, right? Because, and I'm not saying that you specifically will do that, but everybody that maybe you're cool with or you're getting with or whatever, you may think it's a cool thing to share, and then they may take the time so they can get some clicks, views, and likes and all of this. That information was actually to help the brethren because they actually give a fuck. Like, they put in the work, they talk about it, they do things on the ground, on the boots and grounds level to help black men how much they can. Mike V's got a track record, Sir Obadiah, Rashad's over here, and certain other things. So you don't know it, but you're in a compromising position. And the funny thing is, I get too much information out of other people's shit, but I don't allow that information to go anywhere. Yeah, see, like, and people don't know that. Like, they don't know that their places are compromised. Yeah. They don't know the places where they're talking. And then when we go into certain points of that, we hear when they have a, and it's not just, usually it's like, yo, that's female behavior. Well, now it's being male behavior because now we're starting to see that if you have a contention with someone, they start bringing stuff that happened in private out into the public to mitigate that person down into the ground so they don't have a voice because they were openly executed off of a misunderstanding of some fucking.
Yeah.
And we see men do it to women, women do it to men, men do it to men, and women do it to women. Like, we didn't see the sisterhood fall on each other, but the difference between men and women? Yeah. Women can call everybody a child of God, your kids need to die, choke on their own vomit.
Right.
Hey, girl, I'm sorry. Yeah, girl, yeah. We can't do that as men. Once you step across the line, you challenge me to a duel, someone has to die. Like, that's how we are. So I'm not going to give you that information, not because it's because of I don't think you understand the scope of where you're at. And once you get around some solid people and understand it, then you'll be maybe privy to information in the forward. Or if someone else can vouch for you, they can get it too.
No, that's cool. I mean, it's you and I are both, I think all three of us the bottom were in the military. So you're talking like some OPSEC stuff, and and part of my industry, I work in sensitive information. I work in financial services, right? Like I handle forensic stuff. So I get where you're getting at. I know we kind of all saw this public spat that I've been through the past few months and shit. So where I've been defending myself. So I kind of get where you're getting at. Which reminds me too, DeAndre, because you had said some months ago that I had said something about you, and I honestly was kind of confused, man. I shot you an email. Well, I shot you my email.
Yeah.
You can't do no shit like that no more. I don't think.
Nah, you can't because the feds be on you because they do the same thing too. I mean,
that AWS stuff. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, but they do the same thing too in government. But the thing is you gotta be trained, but you professional. Now that it's like when you have these platforms, you gotta be careful who you talk to, especially the police and things like that. Don't try to act all gangster because that's most street dudes that come on here, pretend and all that stuff. They go to jail really easily. I saw a documentary. I think it's some Inglewood cats. They just didn't realize it was over. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But but what I was saying about those Inglewood cats, they said, how did those guys get locked outside England? He said, well, they kept talking all that stuff on the internet, and he got locked up away for that. The feds, they was actually doing gang banging stuff, and they caught him, because there's GPS, and BGS got mad at someone about early in the stream about, asked me something to Shatterpoint. He said, he cussed out a guy. He told him, he said, look, there's GPS on your phone. He said, just don't take the phone with you. He was hollering and screaming at somebody. I started laughing. I was like, damn, man. Yeah.
There's so many cases.
Well, see, at that time, let me tell y'all something. Law enforcement at the time, I'm going to put myself back in the fold real quick. Okay. When I was explaining right here, yes, I was on that fool's panel before he darted me out of the chat because we had that small fallout from last year, right? At that time, I try to tell you, the police is on these platforms. If they're on live streams, comment sections, just be careful who you talk to, especially if you're saying reckless stuff, especially on YouTube. It all started on Instagram years ago. Before it was Instagram, it all started on YouTube years ago. YouTube had gang affiliates and gang members and gang bangers, right? But the feds was cracking down on it because the feds want them gone. The one thing I can tell you about the feds, they're looking for that, the substance abuse and drugs and all that. Let me tell you something. When the feds see with that, that's like sugar to them. If you get caught with that, your life is over. You're doing football numbers, right? But murders and things like that and all the slaughtering and all that, they do care, but do they really care? Not so really. But if you got drugs and a lot of money, that's where they get you. To see the IRS and the Fed, all of them want to control you. But their job is to maintain. They don't want to get out of hand. See, they don't want urban terrorism. See, urban terrorism has been around forever. Now you're seeing them doing it ever more now across the states, right? You see the body cam channels are growing. Let me tell you something. I've been watching a lot of body cam channels. They have dominated damn near most of the views, the average views that do live streams and views or recordings, right? They dominate, and it's regurgitated stuff they done seen from old stuff, and they got some new ones out too. This stuff is wild, and the cops are on it. See, now the body cams, they got to be on all the time. My dad was saying if they get caught with the feds now, the feds ain't playing no more. They need money. See, the state police can go anyway. Look at the guy in Argentina. He's autocrat. I don't think he's a libertarian. He's a fraud. He's an autocrat. The reason why that guy in Argentina looks decent, he wants to get all forms of state police and want the military to be the military police domestically and foreign. Kind of like his own personal guard. Crazy, right? Just be careful in Argentina. He tried to be like that dictator from what's his name, Augusto. That's not good. That's not a good look for him, but he better be careful. He better be careful because that thing is real, and Argentina ain't been right since then. So I'm just showing you that part, and I'm just gonna cut out for a minute. I'm just gonna play a little bit of this and get to the nitty-gritty. Okay.
There was a case I read about a nigga up in I think it was the UK. where he shot somebody with a crossbow, like killed a guy,
Yeah.
hit him right in the stomach. And it would have been a perfect crime, but they tracked his location through his phone. They looked at his Amazon purchase history, and I'm like, God damn, man! Like they went through his shit and found the crossbow, so they can track you 5 ways from Sunday nowadays.
Yeah. But he just got upset with somebody in the shadow point. But hey, Cerulin, you there?
Shit, where's his animated avatar at? I ain't seen that in months.
Yeah, hold on.
The nigga be talking.
Let me hold on. Let me ask him shit. Yeah.
No, y'all cool.
He dropped off.
Yeah, DeAndre, I got my email in the back chat, man.
Okay, yeah, man. Like,
hey, man, my whole thing is like, if I do something wrong, I'll own up to the shit. I mean, look, I'm a man about my fuck shit.
No, I mean, the whole thing, man, is this, right? Is like, you know what I mean? The whole thing is. Oh, he said he couldn't hear anything at all.
Oh shit!
Oh, he couldn't hear anything. Oh yeah,
he got to do something.
Yeah, he'll come back. He'll come back. He's a good dude. I was cool with him over at Charles. I met him at Charles, and when they had an argument, it was about the initiative. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, like how they debated. And he told me, he said, "I got to go to work." He said, "I love you, Sarun," but he said something with a sarcastic way. And
yeah, that's when at the time, this is like early. I think it's somewhere around January. I believe it was January when I said I saw Charles. I was on his channel, and then this is why I was messing with those Igmore clan guys and Sarun there on the panel, and talking to Charles. So you know how they are. So you know how that is. But that's a whole nother get there. So let's hear this fool, the SKC guy, the Supreme King Coon himself, the Coon guy. Let's go.
3 streams tells the tale. Like I said, the SK situation with SKC, he saw the community tab that I had by accident because I didn't think people was going to join that stream. And she had a great question. You have all the smoke for the women, but no for the elect officials and law enforcement. So when you attract guys like the general and everybody else coming on there, you're going to get some attention. And then SKC came in there with sneak shot, boom, and it was it. And then, like I said before, like I said, the cerulean outcome, cerulean effect, the answer kind of maintained order in midway to the end. So I saw all 3 streams, and now I'm putting notes together, even to expose the trolling, the art of what he does. A lot of other females in the chat, everybody else in the males got a little bit rattled. They wasn't ready for that. Not her platform like that, because Sheila's not built like that. She's built a different way. So when you deal with guys like SKC, they do exist in the world. They have these masks on, you know what I mean? And he tricks people. And I try to tell her, I couldn't get on the panel because certain individuals I had problems with. I didn't want to get in that discussion. I just let SKC do his thing because I know what he's going to do. He's going to clip everybody. But that's his thing. But go ahead, Cerulin. You got something to say?
All right, check.
Yeah. You clear? Yeah, you clear. You clear, brother. You clear, brother.
You got it.
All right, greetings to my esteemed nobles, man. Some of the brothers I haven't seen in a while. My brother Mike V, what's going on?
Shalom, brother. Shalom.
Indeed.
You're
and thanks for sharing the link with me, Drake. 'Cause I didn't even know Obadiah had a channel.
Yeah, man. We be over here, we have detailed, deep.
Usually I be seeing. Yeah, usually it's over.
Okay.
Charles,
Right? Okay.
What's that?
Yeah. Like y'all had I think I seen you over at Charles. Like y'all had a good discussion. Then y'all got heated with a debate, and I think y'all was talking about y'all's little. I don't know if it was an initiative. I was in the chat. I think I kind of agree with you in the chat. I remember. It's been a while. And then you and him going back and forth. So Yeah.
Oh man, you haven't even seen the half of it. A lot of the real back and forth that we have some intense shit like offline.
Yeah. Yeah. He tells us every time in his streams. I mean, I'm cool with Charles. I see him over at Art. So, yeah. He came by here once in the chat. Yeah.
Oh fuck! I ain't been on his shit in a minute, man. Charles Falk cool as hell.
Yeah, he's been doing good. He's on his stuff. He just did a BGS after stream about the Shatterpoint. So
Yeah. I be missing everybody's streams and shit, man. I've been busy as hell these past.
I've been over at I think Kudas. I've been over at Gold Professors. I've been over at Arts, and I've been over at well, actually, recently Sheila. She's got a great channel, man. Like it's balanced.
Yes.
And I said, "Damn, she got a few heavy hitters." I said, "Okay, I see what she's." Yeah,
You
I see what she's.
know what I find funny, man. Like, I've spent a good plethora of time, like, went from rank and file, right?
Right.
Rank and file engineer, which literally the ship, the entirety of the ship is my domain, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be in like say expeditions, wider field of view, to command positions, which is like you're looking at fleet movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm vigilant enough to know that every rat has a predictable pattern of behavior, right? Like let's just take suspicious Kang Cuckle, aka you know him as SKC. Right?
Oh, why you do that, man, like that? Call me off.
Listen, wait a minute. I told y'all, put the chin straps on. Yeah, I thought I was joking. See,
No. I know how you get down. Go ahead. Mine's already on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I told y'all, I'm the diplomatic guy. Hey, go ahead, go for it.
Cerulli, I'm afraid of what nickname you got for me.
Like what really influences a person to want to troll somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. See, it begins with a visceral emotional reaction, which is why you're doing it. You see,
right?
These are people that they don't have the luxury of being respected by their peers within their own communities in real life. That's why you hear a lot of them crying about not getting no respect, not getting no pussy, not getting no whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And see, it was so appropriate that Our Lady Sheila had that live stream where she says that you have all this smoke for these females, but you ain't got no smoke for the institutions.
Right. Absolutely.
You got no smoke, right? And y'all already seen it. I mean, live and direct. They be having hella smoke for these females. Barely have cigarette smoke for your boy though.
Oh yeah.
So this nigga comes in here, comes on, and we're having this conversation, and you get to talking about a community that I hold in high esteem. Now, people might say, "Oh man, Cerulean, that's wrong that you said that his wife yanks ding dings and cooks that nigga's food with the same hand she pulls wieners with." But see, the way that Negro probably feels about his wife is what I feel for my own community, though. So when I hear
you said that,
about, talking that crazy shit about niggas, y'all forgetting whenever he calls niggas animals, he's talking about some black man or some black man's wife. He's talking about you see what I'm saying? A myriad of families that may or may not be interconnected to make a community. But
Yeah.
what that actually represents is that it doesn't matter if he's with a LBFM or not.
Mm.
That even be marrying into the Asian community, that he is not respected amongst them. See, he's a masochist, man. He is a stiffler for punishment. I'm one of the few people that can, troll hunt him without actually having any ill intent whatsoever for the
Yeah. I've noticed that. And I mean, to me, I kind of understand him. Last year, he was on another individual I don't really mess with anymore. And I've noticed his people in his chat, and I was like, but his name kind of ruffles people's feathers. I've noticed it. I said, Supreme King Coon. That's an interesting name. I didn't get mad when I first heard his name. I was like, okay.
Well, see,
Let me take. I was so intrigued by it. I was like, okay, let me learn something about it. Case study. He does go around, like you said, he trolls, but when it comes to identity and race politics, people get triggered. What he says, but I understand what he's saying because it's language, And
let's put something in perspective.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, black people are animals, or to say humans can devolve into animal-like behavior, right?
Right.
Well, we all have the fight or flight response. Yeah. But see, the way I see it is that if you are, let's just say, an immigrant, and people know that I don't really have a whole lot of esteem for immigrants, and particularly the ones from Africa or the ones from Europe, right? Or even the ones from Asia. But their flight response, instead of, say, for instance, staying in their countries and making of their country what the noble Negro of America has made of this one, right? Mm-hmm. They take the path of least resistance. In other words, they take flight, which in my opinion, when compared to the Black American, is a coward's way out. And then on top of that, these are the people that you venerate. And then to such extent that you marry the castaways, the throwaways of that society, mm-hmm. right? And then lay down with it, have children, and then come on and use that as a talking point to try to, shit on the women of your own ethnic group, mm-hmm. right? Yeah. Now, understand something. He's absolutely right. Humans do have the capacity to devolve into animal-like behavior. And when you understand what I just said, you'll understand that it's nothing more than a projection and a reflection of what he's already doing. He's laying down with an animal. Mm. See, when you fight, you have made your position clear that you will not die like some random animal. See, when you fly, you're nothing more than a cornered animal trying to run away from your responsibilities. And so when I look at the Asian community, no matter what fucking ilk or country which they come from, okay, they're just an animal, and therefore they should be treated as such. See, we get to try to step all on, our tippy toes and try to dog walk our way around, not offending other groups. But nobody's doing that shit for Black Americans.
Right.
And even Black Americans, a lot of y'all do. I'm not saying y'all in particular, but I hear it so much in the space, which is what really disgusted me about a lot of the shit that was happening in the manosphere.
Yeah, I've noticed that in this new manosphere, like 2.0 and some of 3.0, I'm shaking my head. They love this anti-black side. Now 1.0, I know they had their little, I would say fuckery, but not as much. But Mike V said early in the stream, you didn't have to know, you didn't, because at the time it was pro-black, like the conscious community. I'm glad you said that in several streams of Sheila's, and you said it is an extension. I agree with you, because when I look at 2.0, it's based off what Sidnet and those boys did, and I'm like, you got Phil Valentine teaching, you got well, Brother Dawood was different, you know, he was anti-Sidnet later on, and he kind of fell out with him, and then you got Bobby Hemmett, same thing, he fell out with him. So it's a combination of a repeat on the internet, and it's just like, wow. And Cerulean was right, and that's the first time I ever agreed with you on that, because I had to agree with that. I said, yeah.
I mean, think about it, right?
Yeah.
What the Negroes of the manosphere are saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Black America is a gynocracy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just read. What the conscious community niggas was over there saying was that the black woman was God.
Right, facts.
Now,
yeah,
let me
that's
ask you
right.
something.
That's right.
What the fuck is the difference between the gynocracy and God?
Not a difference. Not a difference. No.
You got a good point there.
So in essence, they're actually saying the same thing, and therefore they look at the black woman as their God too, because they're saying they can't do a damn thing without first waiting, quote unquote, waiting for this black woman to change. What's the difference between that and say some devout, God-fearing Christian talking about they waiting on Jesus to come?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now to be fair, because I don't want to seem like a co-side. You know, I do favor SYSB on talking points. So to be fair, I want to disclose that. Also, by the way, Cerulean, on a man-to-man level, I do owe you an apology, because I remember you specifically. I was laughing and kikiing with some cats in regards to you a couple months back.
No,
it was a couple months ago.
No. Here's the thing. You owe me nothing, right?
I do. I mean, if I do foul shit, man.
No, see, peep this, right? And I tried to explain this to David Johnson, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't remember that.
He calls himself David Johnson the asshole, more like pocket pussy, but you know. Right?
I'm not familiar with the brother. You're not familiar with him, but
no, he's more like David Johnson the cock ring, but you know.
He uses ISUPK talking points. Sound like those niggas on the street.
Oh yeah, them Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah, he sounds just like them dudes. And I'm shaking my head. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, I've seen him a couple times.
No, he be trolling that platinums. I see him where he go. Everywhere there's mess, David's gonna be around. Even over at Auntie's. That's why they mad at Auntie, because of him and Jessica. That's all that was. That's all that was.
Look, man, listen. It's like this, man. It's like how you say it's certain people, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like what we were saying on Sheila's panel yesterday, right? It's like David Johnson is David Johnson, right? Rudimp is Rudimp, right? Obsidian's Obsidian. Like, it's certain people you know, like Bullets Gotti. You know, why are you? No, for real, it's like, why are you getting mad? Right?
Yeah.
You have a crackhead in your family. He done stayed at everybody's house and stole from them. And you get mad when you let him
ate all the damn food. A lot of people don't know that. Ate all the damn food. All that stealing.
There's certain people that they may act right once or twice, but if the dog is retarded, why are you getting mad when it shits on the couch? It's just for me, like, certain people is going to do certain things in certain kids, and that's what they're going to be. And you got a couple of choices. You either accept it, right? You keep the conversation where it's at, and you don't let it veer off, and you bring it in. You call it out where it's at, and you just don't let them participate with the cool kids.
Right. I like option D, right? I like option D.
Yeah.
That's where you take over, you have them back out by the bar, right? And, put some treats, right in front of them so that it's facing the other way, and put them on down.
like I said, I didn't really have a lot. I didn't really have solid footing. I was still kind of finding my way. I'm not making excuses for my behavior. I mean, I'm a man,
No,
but
understand,
you know,
understand something.
it's really ain't never disrespected. Go ahead.
Understand something, right?
Yeah.
This is what I was trying to just explain to old David Johnson, the pocket pussy. Right?
Well,
Yeah, but go ahead, sir.
Category, man.
Men, there has never been a period of time in which men do not go at each other.
Yeah.
Okay. And from time to time, men will fall out. That's why I only hear like the and I told David, that's why you will always be a follower.
Yeah.
Facts.
If you never fell out with anybody, right? Like take for instance, you grew up with some people, or maybe just hung out with some people, knew them for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you the only motherfucker in the squad that never got into it with anybody. That means you was the do boy the whole time.
Yeah, the good follower. Yeah.
Right?
It's like those kids. Yeah, it's like those cats back in basic training that never will get into some shit. The drill sergeant wouldn't know who he was and shit. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Basically, that's what he's saying. But this is his pieces going in and all that other stuff. It gets hectic. And, she gets up here and all this other stuff, and it gets surreal up here. I'm gonna see what's going on here. Get to the nitty gritty, to the good part. It's just like it's just a couple more minutes, and I'm just gonna end it on that note. And it is what it is. Oh man, my stream. Yeah, make sure my stream hit it. Okay. Let me see something real quick. I'll be right. Let me go on mute. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, that at that time, it's just what it was, and then I'm looking at it like for what it is, and naming what's really going on, and I'm just looking at old girl over here. But he said I'm familiar with Mr. Gray's name, and I read this initiative that he wrote with Officer Faulkner, and however, I haven't had much exposure to him. And Sir Anthony at the time, he didn't know much about cerulean. This is when a lot of people came in my chat at the time. This is where I really saw what it was, at that time. This is where it really exploded. Yeah, I got a couple of, not a lot of views, but it was some good views. I got some decent views on that. This was the hottest video hottest stream at the time. But my biggest streams, you already know what it is. That's some crazy shit that I got. You already know that stream is ballistic. Don't get me started with my old stuff. I can play that all day. The reason I have a long playlist, I just want y'all to see, or the podcast, just check it out. The Thirsty Thrills, and even this one. We're just playing a recap 5 instead of verses 1 through 4. It's too much conversation in an hour. I want to do it short and simple and sweet because I want to get to the nitty gritty. And we're in this full off panel, so it's kind of crazy, but I'm gonna let you enjoy this. I'm gonna hear what this conversation is. I'm just gonna skim through it and get where the heart is right here.
It's really silent. You had already lost the debate. But see,
okay, man.
You don't.
Okay, so everybody really answer the question then. Do you believe that
don't you understand? You would have already. Lost your own.
Then let me ask the question. Then let me answer the question. Then let me show my foolishness.
You would have already lost.
Okay, so let me show my foolishness. Then let me show. Then let me show my foolishness. Then cerulean. Then let me show it. Okay. Then let me continue to show my foolishness then. Let me continue to show my foolishness then. So everyone else here, do
and
you
that's why
also?
That's why I said. That's why your name is appropriate.
See again. See. You see how he keeps interrupting? You see how he keeps interrupting? And then here comes the ad hominem.
You can interrupt.
So I'll ask again.
Anyway.
Do all of you
anyway,
also believe
Greg
that
is trying to get some
great cosmic experiment coming from the Big Bang Theory
also
created a singular pure race from all of the other races of humans?
Is that
what you all are saying? I'm just asking.
What I'm saying is it doesn't matter.
Does anyone, Sir Obadiah, do you agree with that?
What's that?
That from the Big Bang Theory and from the cosmic soup, from where we all come from, according to science, that in that it created a purebred human race. It somehow separated some molecules somehow separated from everything else throughout all of evolution. And somehow there was one strand of or one particular brand of human that came out different from all the other humans, and they're the only pure race.
Yep.
Gino,
as a matter of
is
fact,
that your thought
too? As a matter of fact, actual genetics.
Will you allow anybody else to answer? Gino. Sir Abadiah, the pizza face guy. What are your thoughts?
Well, if you want to talk about, hold on, I got something to shut this up right now. Hold on.
Obadiah, real quick. Obadiah, real quick. He just tried to put y'all in a trick bag.
I know he's trying to. I know he's trying to. No, hold on. I gotta share a link. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I got all the races. This is what my channel's about. Hold on. We got the Homo sapiens erectus, and this is the guy that I do research on. I don't believe in the big thing there. This is where I stem from. Okay, right here, these species right here, different 3 species, right?
Yeah.
The Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and that's the false science that this my man say here. This black scholar that I followed for 9 years is rude. And here's the Homo sapiens. This is us right here.
Yeah.
The genius in the species to which of all modern men, modern human beings, Homo sapien, belong to which are attributable fossil remains of humans in Africa from 400,000 years ago or more. But in the Quinzian cave near Rosh Hayan in central Israel, human teeth were found indicating the existence of modern man, Homo sapiens, human beings in Israel, in early as about 400,000 years ago, but thus proving the modern man is much older than 400,000 years ago. Homo sapiens are distinguished from other animals, from early humanoid species by characteristics and habitats such as a bipedal stance and gait, brain capacity averaging about 82 cubical inches, high forehead, small teeth, jaw, defined chin, construction and use of teeth, and the ability to make use of symbols such as use, language, and writing. And some of these features were possessed by immediate ancestor Homo erectus, but in the aggregate, they are characteristics only of Homo sapiens. And it says about the albino, that's
all of us here.
Okay, I'm gonna end that. Okay, that's it. Yeah, we killed his ass on that, and it's no need. We're gonna copy. I'm gonna let y'all see the rest of it. I'm kind of run out of time, and okay. Let's see for a minute. More tools. Let me see. me see something real quick. Shit. Copy. How can you copy something? Copy the link. Copy. Ugh. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've done this. Okay. History. My previous. Copy the link. Okay. It's kind of weird. It's been a minute. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the chat. Paste. I'm gonna put this in the chat. I'm gonna put this in the chat so y'all can see. Okay, in here. Yeah, it's on the YouTube. Okay. As you can tell, y'all can check the link out of that stream where that mark is, and it's just like, oh my god, my battery don't went out. Shit. Hell. That's not good. That is not good. That is not. My battery don't went out. Oh my god. But anyways, but that's where you can catch that stream, whatever. I just posted and things like that. But enough on that. I'm gonna stop sharing. And yeah, we kicked this boy's ass, man. Like we did what we did. But challenge them, like, man, come on, man. He was trying to come with that weird science and all that stuff. And I knew what he was on. I know he was trying to put us in the trick bag, but I wasn't falling for it. But I do my research. I'm not going to argue with people and scream and yell. That's not what that was about. It was a good panel. It was an all-star panel, man. Like, we did what we were supposed to do, And that's what you see. I'm just opening up this battery thing. Okay. Batteries done went out. It's over here. These things go out very quickly. And then we're just gonna go. That's what that was. It didn't communicate with me. Yeah, it was a battery thing. Yeah, it was a battery thing. It went out, and it went out that quick, didn't it? But appreciate y'all coming through. Degenerate Mike, appreciate y'all. But yeah, that's it. I had to show y'all the the crazy Thursday Thrills number 5th string that was iconic at the time. It was the height of the views or whatever. A lot of them got views. Don't get me wrong. There's some good ones, and y'all can see the rest of them in the playlist. But that's the only one I show y'all because that's one of my favorite streams because the conversation was good. And we crushed SAC. Yeah, I showed my historical stuff on him with the stuff he come with that science. We smashed all that down. So at that time, it just goes to show you where the finale was. But I might listen to the rest of it later and things like that. But that shit was wild. But he starts trying to say, he said, DeAndre, acting crazy, and he didn't know what to do. He was just acting stupid. But man, if y'all was there at that stream at that time, it's crazy. It was wild 2 years ago. It was on October 7th. If you wasn't at that stream, man, you was missing out, man. If y'all was new to this channel, man, y'all had to be here in 2021. If y'all wasn't at that stream, boy, that boy was it was crazy. But you know how that was. But but yeah, this is the finale. You'll never see the series again. This is the 88th edition of the finale of 30 Thrills. And yes, you can enjoy every last one of them. You can watch it all like next year. It's still gonna be up, still part of the podcast, but great conversations, a little minus the fuckery, but but it's a little fuckery there and there, but not much. But after that, we had good conversations in between. So it was well balanced panels and stuff. Sykes, my favorite. Yeah, I talked spicy on the rest of the tail end, but you know how it is. But that's the whole series of it. So that was just at the time I created for the pandemic, and then conversation, and next thing you know, and talk about what's going on YouTube. That's what this whole concept was. But you know how it is. So with that, until next time, shalom to the people of Israel, of course. Shalom to y'all and to the Gentiles as well. Shalom. Until next time, and I'll see y'all in the Independent Thinking series. I believe that is like the edition. What edition of Independent Thinking series? I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out. What series was that? It was I believe it's the 37th edition. Yeah, I'll check out in the 37th edition next week after Christmas. You know, I already know. It's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. I'm just seeing for what it is. But I know for a fact that people are going to enjoy what they're going to see. And that's it. So you know how it is. So with that, until time, I will see y'all in the Independent Thinking series. And until next time, y'all enjoy your night. And this is the final of the Thursday Thrills, the 88th edition finale. And y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed that stream. I just posted in the chat. Y'all check it out. And yes, his ass and the rest of it was good conversation. Good riddance to that motherfucker, but we be all right. Until next time.